Tigers TV talking to Chelmsford City's new club captain Dave Winfield. Dave, obviously it's been a couple of days now since we announced that you'd be in the role, but how has that time been and how do you feel about stepping up to that captaincy?
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, look, a lot's happened in the last couple of days. I feel good. As I said earlier, I feel privileged to be in the position. It's not something that I'm new to. I've been involved in successful teams and not so successful teams, so I've got a good rounded experience. But as I mentioned before, just trying to galvanise the group really and get us to where we all want to be.
Yeah, you mentioned there you've been part of really successful dressing rooms that have seen promotions in non-league and the Football League as well. But how does it feel in particular to be captain of Chelmsford City and this particular group of players?
Yeah, it feels great. I mean, look, we touched on the other day, didn't we, about the vision of the football club and what we want to do. I think it's very important to touch on that because, I'm fully committed to the football club and the direction that it wants to take. I think sometimes you go through periods where it looks a little bit further away than what you quite want it to be. But it's a journey and it's something that, we've spoken about in the summer. And we're still talking about it now because it is the direction that we want to go in. Having said that, you can't go in that direction unless you have people that believe in that. And part of what I'm here to do is to be an extension of the manager on the pitch, and make sure that the players believe that in all capacity, if you like.
Yeah, and as well as stepping up to that club captaincy, there's also an 18-month contract which you've signed alongside that. Was it important for you to sort of sign up to that longer period and be here for obviously the next year and a half at least?
Yeah, I think it's only important to me because it shows that I believe in what we're doing. For no other reason. I know you guys are aware that I travel a distance to get here, and I wouldn't do that if it didn't mean something to me, and it does. But in turn, I expect the other players for it to mean as much to them as it does to myself and everyone involved with the football club. So I think that's part of what the manager's looking at and the chairman and everyone behind the scenes are looking at is that our displays show how much it means to us.
Mm-hmm. And going back to your first stint at the club, obviously that was right at the start of the 2019-20 season when the vision had just been, I think, announced at that time under a different management team. How do you see things have changed from then to now, and how have things progressed in terms of the vision as well?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any secret in the fact that it's been a difference in budget. That always plays its part in competitive football, and this is still a very competitive league. But with the vision and where the football club want to go, it's about building blocks, but putting the right building blocks in place to get to where you want to go. That does not happen overnight. I understand that we had the vision in the summer and we're probably not as further forward right now as what we wanted to be. But I think in the changes that are to come, we're definitely going to get close to where we want to be.
Yeah, and with that vision, obviously, there's a lot of talk about it between people in interviews with Steve and Robbie, and the club is working more to be more transparent with that in terms of getting it out there more and being more vocal about it. But we talk about it a lot behind the scenes, obviously, and to sign up and be club captain and sign up for 18 months, that must be something that you believe in, and you believe in what we're doing as a club.
Yeah, I definitely do, and there can sometimes be some blurred lines between what the vision is and how the players perceive it, how the management perceive it, and again, whether fans buy into it or not. But for me personally, it's about making sure that the club is a fan-driven club. What that means is for me as a player that they get what they deserve when they pay the money to come through the turnstiles. They're coming to be entertained and they're spending their hard-earned money. And there's a level of respect that comes with that. But also, it's a club that wants to bring their young players through and really show how the youth system has established itself, and how they can then establish themselves in the first team. And I think we've seen great examples of that so far this season, but it's something that we need to build on. Those younger players may well need to gain experience quicker than normal, but I think they're capable of doing that. They do take on information and they do retain it, which is great. And that's half the battle, really. But it's just about trying to, implement little things along the way to make sure that there's enough encouragement, and support there for them to do so.
Yeah, and talking about the young players as well, obviously you've been in and around the squad, throughout the season and pre-season as well. How do you view that young squad compared to, well, not comparing it to dressing rooms that you've been in, but how do you view that young squad and how it's moving forward over the course of this 6 months since the summer or that sort of period?
Yeah, I mean, I've been fortunate enough to be at clubs where young players have come through, they've done really well, and 3 or 4 of them are playing the Premier League now. So, it's about nurturing that ability. Helping them understand what their strengths are and perhaps what their weaknesses are. And I know that the management staff are working on young players in regards to that. But it's part and parcel of, coming into the first team and breaking in, that those senior players put their arm around them and sort of get them through periods where they might have a dip in form. This far, perhaps we haven't done enough of that. And I think that's something definitely we need to work on.
Yeah, so looking back through the season as well, obviously we found ourselves in a position where obviously no one wants to be in, but looking back through the season so far up to now, how do you view that period of time?
Yeah, it's obviously been a tough period. It has for the players as well as the fans and everyone else. It's really difficult in situations like this to put your finger on things, but from the dressing room point of view, maybe we haven't been as accountable personally and individually is what we should have done for our own personal performances. I think also maybe holding each other accountable for each other's performances, because as a whole it has an impact on the team and the squad's performances, right? And I think that's a big thing for us going forward. It's to hold people accountable, and everybody's got the right to do that within that dressing room, because you're all coming in midweek and you're doing your day jobs and you're working hard to get here, and when you are here you're working just as hard to try and get in the team. So that alone gives you the right to keep people accountable, but let's just work hard and see what we can do.
Yeah, and that sort of leads on to one of the questions that we did get sent in. Thank you to the supporters that did send questions in, one of which being obviously relating to the position that we are now in. What do we need to do going forwards, and in your opinion as a club captain, what do you yourself need to do moving forwards over the rest of the season to make sure that we do move up the table and move away from where we are?
Yeah, I mean, accountability is a big thing. We just touched on that. I also think, and this gets disregarded sometimes, but being conscious as a player. So when I say that, I mean, conscious of your own performances, conscious that your teammate might be having a sticky 10-15 minutes and you have to drag them through it. At times conscious of your surroundings and your environment, the fans that have come to watch you. Again, they've paid their hard-earned money to watch you perform. So conscious of that fact, but also, you're getting paid to do this. So be conscious of the fact that you are taking a wage to play semi-professional football, but with that becomes a certain level of professionalism and commitment, right? So you can't sort of go half-hearted at it. That's not acceptable. It's not for any of the dressing rooms that I've been involved in as captain, and I won't accept it going forward.
Excellent. And then another question that we got sent in was relating to your injury. Obviously you picked up at Hampton and Richmond in the first half. It was a hamstring issue. How is that now, and how's that going to be looking over the rest of the season? Is that something that you've been able to sort of move past now? Yeah,
we're definitely improving. I don't think it was quite at the strength level it needed to be when I initially came back, which is why we've broken down a little bit again now. But look, we're going to get it right and make sure that it's right for the longevity of the season, if you like. There's no point in us having this conversation about, what I can do for the group and the things I can implement if I'm not out on the pitch. It's vital that, as we touched on earlier, you're an extension of the manager. If you're not playing, you might as well be the manager or assistant, you know what I mean, or not be here at all. So I'm definitely looking to be involved pitch-wise and driving the players forward.
Okay, excellent. Thanks for your time, Dave, and looking forward to seeing you wearing the armband out on the pitch, and I'm sure we'll catch up again soon.
Thank you, I appreciate it.